How to do, everyone? You know who I am, ETTemplar, your supreme misfit professional dipshit, and your chief slop operator, and we're going to be pissing off people today with my opinion. Oh yeah, we're going there.
Patriotism is dead. There's only rebels and tyrants now.
Strange.
A world ready for the righteous and the pure to inherit.
Don't believe in surrenders. No, I still got my saber, Reverend. Didn't turn it into no plowshare either.
I'm taking over this territory.
So, essentially, I'm just going to boil this down to why I won't watch the new Predator Badlands movie. First off, I see a PG-13 rating, which, if you're not familiar with the story of predators, people get skinned and people have their spines and skulls taken as trophies. So I don't see how you can you can't remain faithful to the original story and horror elements if the predators aren't doing that. And of course, what it is he's on a planet with other aliens, plant aliens, and synths. So not a single human life is killed here that I know of. It's all just synths. And essentially what they're doing here is what they've already done with the xenomorphs, where a xenomorph can't be terrifying and scary enough unless if it's under the command of a woman. If you haven't seen Aliens recently, that's essentially what they did. The synth woman figures out how to talk to the xenomorph and controls the xenomorph. And the same thing with the Predator here is a female woman synth takes, like, essentially he can't survive without her, which is bullshit. We're talking about a series of extreme hunters and trophy hunters and clans of them, and the Yautja, their entire culture, think Mayans, but with, plasma casters and the predilection to skin and take trophies. Okay, that's if you haven't seen any of the Predator movies. So the first issue is PG-13. The next issue is they're gonna have the Predator not be capable on his own to survive in this environment. He has to depend on a famoid female robot. And that doesn't make sense to me at all, because we're talking about a very self-reliant species. In fact, I think if the plot's not mistaken, the father wanted to kill this Yautja because he's like failure. So they send him to this planet to kill a large, imp, like hard to kill trophy animal, essentially. So an entire species and culture based on self-reliance and the hunt, they should be able to go down to that planet and do just fine, because that's their culture, it's what they've been raised to do. But of course, we've got to take that away, because in modern movies, we got to take away the manliness and the masculinity of things, even fucking aliens. So he finds his robot, and let me put this into your perspective. Okay, let's take the shoes off and let's put on the Predator's shoes. So your entire culture is self-reliance and trophy hunting and to live for the hunt. And you go to a planet and you come across a synth robot that's not your species. So why would you even care about what a fucking robot has to say? You would just, like, see it as trash and continue on about your day. But this, of course, is Disney, and I think it's pretty self-evident that they're going to ruin the Predator series. I recently just watched Predator 2, and even that one's fantastic. It's not the strongest of the, original Predator movies, but it's pretty solid. But another reason why I won't see this, so PG-13 rating. The second thing being is the demasculinity of the Predator, or the demasculization of the Predator. 3, we got stupid synth shit. I could care. Fuck robots. I don't care about robots. Fuck them. If I was in the alien Predators world, the first thing I would do if I came across a synth, I would fucking shoot it, because you can't trust a robot. Okay, you've seen the other Alien movies, the more modern ones. The robots are untrustworthy and they'll betray you as soon as they get the chance, as soon as someone types in a code or something, or maybe they just betray you because they're sentient, right? So first thing I'm doing is blasting and killing any sentient Sith or robots that, if they have, you know, the ability to be sentient. The first thing I'm doing is killing all robots. So other than that, and the next thing is the romanticization of barbaric cultures. Again, the Yamcha are, again, like a Mayan civilization with plasma casters and a hunt. They're kind of like, if you ever seen Star Trek Voyager with the Hirogen. Their entire culture is for the thrill of the kill and to get trophies from their adversaries. That's like basic, like just barbarity. And what we're seeing here, and one thing that I see that's kind of dangerous with this modern cultural Marxism and shit like this, is we see the romanticization of barbarity and cultures that are uncivilized. And you know, it's like when people romanticize the Mayans, right? They had a god that was called the flayed god, where they would cut you here and like here, and then they would tear your flesh off. So in correlation with the Mayan argument and how we have people romanticizing these kind of backwards ass cultures, and people tend to forget that. Like the Yamcha are something that's not supposed to be sympathized with. They're, yeah, you can find interest in it, you can think it's cool, but they're not to be romanticized or be seen as a hero here. But then again, that's what happens when retards take over the movie industries. When you have autistic communists that have to explain every fucking thing, and every detail has to be fleshed out, and everything must be known. What gave the Yamcha, in if I'm saying that correctly, in the previous Predator movies, was their mystique, their culture. You could pick up on that. There was a like hunter culture there with the collecting of trophies and the terror. And they skinned their enemies as a intimidation factor. That's why in the first Predators and second Predators, they hang up skinned human bodies to intimidate and say, "Oh, this is our territory. We own you." And not only that, but they use human skin to make cloaks, clothing items, and to quite literally dial in their thermal imaging. So they're quite literally making boots and items and shit out of human, like, flesh. And people are you know, yeah, he has a brother. The Yamcha has a brother. Oh, it's a family-friendly skinning adventure. Well, not really, because they're all synths and robots. But what we're seeing here is the Disney-ification of Predator, a series, and you're going to see it get worse and worse. Even the previous ones before this one, the more recent Predators, they're getting bad. And they're going to do to the Predator series what they've done to Star Wars and Star Trek. They're basically going to sodomize this series and films. And that's why I won't watch this film, and why I won't probably watch any Disney-produced Predators movie, because I've already seen what they've did to Star Wars and Star Trek, what they've done to the Klingons in Star Trek, where they're putting Klingons in like skirts now. I don't need to see that. I don't want to watch that, and I'm going to stick with the original Predator series, and even some of the newer, later ones that are still rated R still kind of hold up, because that's what it was. It was originally a horror creature feature movie. It's something that's not supposed to be PG-13 and kiddieized. It's something that should be like grounded and held within like at least a sense of reality in the world, in the comparison with the Mayan culture, right? And the hunter killer culture, the trophy collecting culture. That's what it should be, not this like effeminized predator that has to depend on a female synth robot to survive. That doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't. It really strips away the manliness, the scariness, the masculinity of the predator, in my opinion, and really boils him down to like this pathetic, like soy boy version, if that makes sense. That's just my opinion on it. Hey, if you enjoy this movie, enjoy it. If you want to watch the Soy Predator series and you enjoy it, I'm not gonna come out here and say, hey, don't watch these. You do you. Enjoy these films. But as for me, I'm gonna stay away from this Disney like sodomization of a cool series that I once loved. I can't hang around and watch what they do to the Predator.
Money! We gotta make some money!
The sky